So I was just editing another video and I was distracted and scrolling, and I came across a news article where a young woman, an 18-year-old woman in Nepal, died after being bitten by a snake, and she was banished to a menstrual hut. Her name was Tulasi Shahi, and she's dead, and she was a young woman and we needed her. There is no woman we can afford to lose due to male violence. Not a single woman. And who knows what Tulasi could have done. And she didn't need to do anything. She didn't need to be of value in any way to the feminist movement, to be of value as a human being. She was inherently important and we've lost her. So I'm going to talk about my period. It infuriates me and devastates me that we have this twisted idea that women are somehow impure because we bleed. Women bleed. Women have always bled. You are here because a woman bled. The sheer ingratitude that patriarchal cultures have for femaleness, it baffles me. It's obviously on purpose. It's so that we don't understand our own true value, so that we're more easily controlled. We are all only here because women bleed. I know women who have never spoken aloud about their periods. They go through their lives with this secret. It's not a secret. Women bleed. We need to acknowledge this. We need to make space in our world for this. We need to let women go home when they're hurting. We need to take care of each other when we're in pain. We need medical care that is woman-centric and not dismissive to women-specific issues. Women bleed. It's okay and it's good, and we wouldn't be here if it weren't for that. We are all only here because women bleed. Forget your creation myths. Forget your patriarchal, Abrahamic religion origin stories. It's lies. It's lies to give power to men and take it from women, but women create. That's it. That's why. There are girls who can't go to school because they bleed. There are girls who have been killed because they bleed. They die in fires in these huts. They die of poisoning. They die of lack of access to hygienic resources. They need to live. The shame and the stigma of periods, it's time to stop. It's time to end it. There is no shame in the natural processes of your perfect female body. You bleed because you were meant to. You bleed because your body is trying to protect you. Because pregnancy is dangerous and you need to be in perfect condition, as close to perfect as nature can create, in order to carry a child. And that's not prescriptive. I'm not saying we're here to carry children. We're not. I'm not. We need to find a way to be okay with it again. And when we're okay with it, we will force this culture to accept it. Women, and especially young girls, are game changers in our culture. Young women create culture. Young women are the locus of change. We need to give them that power. Look at what young women are doing, because that is what the world will be doing soon. Young women change language, young women change culture, and we are sticking them in huts where they die because of some perceived impurity. It is not real. It is not true. You are pure. You are good. There is nothing wrong with you. Your body is normal. It is natural. In its perfectly human state, it is good. If we keep teaching young women that there's something wrong with them, they will keep believing it. They will not strive, they will not fight. And we need you young women to fight. So please, in the beginning of this new world that you're creating, embrace your period. Take it on, own it. It's there with you through your life. You will remember events based on where you were in your cycle. You'll never forget the first time you bled through. I sure have not forgotten. You'll never forget the first time you saw someone else bleed through, the first time you wish you had told them. Thank goodness the times that you did. You'll never forget the subtle ways that your friends asked you to check in on them. Am I good? Especially before a big presentation in school or something like that. You won't forget the fear. I was very young when I got my period. I was 8 years old. I thought I was dying. I didn't die. That feeling gave me power. I suddenly realized I bleed and I don't die. I bleed and I don't hurt. Not in the normal way, like a cut will hurt you. I do this thing that everyone seems so afraid of, and it gave me power. That when other people are afraid of you, you have a type of power. And it's only when that fear turns into shame on you that it damages you. So turn that shame back around, because you have nothing to be afraid of. They have nothing to be fearful of, and you have nothing to be ashamed of. Bleed, my sisters. Bleed and create, or bleed and prolong, or just bleed and get it over with. Bleed and endure. I so believe in you. You so deserve to be celebrated. You are whole, holy, pure, and good. And fuck this shit where our sisters are dying. Talk about your period. Post pictures of your blood. Smear it on walls. I don't know. Passersby. Do what you will with it. This is your body. You're given one. You get one go in this world as we know it, in that body that bleeds. I'll tell you a story about my menstrual blood. I lived with a woman who was a witch, and she was so inspiring to me. In this way, I collected my menstrual blood. I had just gotten my menstrual cup, so I saw it all the time, the blood. And it felt powerful to me. It felt like this, I was collecting something to be doing something with it. So I collected it in a jar, and I found a plot of land that I wanted for my women's land cooperative, and I buried it. And I wrote a spell, I wrote something, a poem, and I set it over this buried menstrual blood. Because there's power in our blood. Women have something special about ourselves. And one day, I will own land, and women will come, and we will bleed together under a red tent, and we will ease each other's pains, because we know ways. And I just want to say to Tulasi that I'm sorry I evolved fast enough to save you. I'm sorry you were so failed. To all the women who have been failed, not in vain. Bleed on, my sisters. Thank you for watching.